Alright, we're going to be checking out some upcoming MMORPGs in 2023 and maybe not 2023. We got like Ashes of Creation, Pantheon, Path of Exile, 1, 2, 3, 50. Basically, all these games are destined to fail. That's my prediction. Obviously, we're going to check them out, and it'll get a few views, subscribers. Most of them within the first month fall and drop off pretty much. We're going to get a lot of negative reviews. Nothing new. More bug-ridden games, exploits, cash shops. Basically, that's what we're getting. Mobile gaming on your desktop. Too many button mashers, stuff to click on, easy quests, easy enemies, easy. Everything's easy mode, and there's really not any sense of action combat when the action is weak action. But that's what we're doing nowadays. We just have not hit it. Even when we try to have new classic so-called retro old school MMOs, most of them are all lower quality, stiff character animations, less interest in the game, less fun overall. We've still not beaten the all-time best MMORPG, Final Fantasy XI. Still strong. If that game was actually on the shelves in front of people, they would have a chance to see it. But if all you do is hear is it's a 20-year-old one, nobody's going to play it. So we're going to check out some upcoming MMORPGs in 2023 and beyond. Here we go. Switch to this one. And start off with Ashes of Creation.
If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know that Ashes of Creation is the MMORPG that I'm personally the most excited for. It's the most ambitious, the business model they're going for doesn't compromise the integrity
some of it
of
looks
the game.
Cool.
It's a nice mix of sandbox and
A
theme
lot
park,
of, even Guild Wars 2 looked good, but it's just the enemies are so easy, it just takes away from the world.
Talking about them all would take too much time, so for more info, check out the big Ashes of Creation overview video on my channel that I made a few months back. So when will Ashes of Creation release? Well, personally, I think we can expect Alpha 2 sometime in the first half of 2023, with beta and full release late 2024. There's no official dates given yet, but by the time 2024 rolls around, the game would have been in full development
Basically,
for 7
all these
years, which is similar to the amount of time it took to develop MMOs such as Elder Scrolls
prime time
and Archage
of their game,
past.
which is before it's actually
Riot
released.
MMO. I did a poll
That's
on my
the
YouTube channel
most
a few
hype
weeks
for it.
back, and
As soon as
next
it's
to Ashes
actually
of
out,
Creation, the
the
Riot
hype
MMO
level
was
drops
the second
way
most
down.
highly anticipated MMORPG. Riot Games have a ton of money, resources, and talent.
League of Legends
All the games they've released in
Online.
recent years have turned out to be highly polished and successful, and have kind of
Another
turned into a new age
minion
version
masher.
of what Blizzard Entertainment used to be, where they would take a game or genre and put their own spin on it whilst making it highly accessible. We don't have a lot of info about the Riot MMO, and due to the fact we haven't seen any
Basically got
gameplay
all
or
the
even
dumb
screenshots
mobile
of the
games.
game, I can't see it releasing
Quality
anytime
is
soon.
what we're getting
In my
for
opinion, this is a 2025
desktop.
and beyond MMO release. Finally, a game that's actually going to release in 2023, Throne and Liberty. This game's been in development
Lineage
for an
4.
eternity. Initially, it was supposed to be Lineage 3 and was first shown off at G-Star in 2011. Then they moved the game to Unreal Engine 4 under the name Project TL. Then after that, they renamed it to Throne and Liberty and changed from an isometric MMO to a third-person open-world action combat MMO.
Well, yeah,
This
it should
game's
be.
going to be a big competitor to Black Desert Online as it features castle sieges, open-world PvP, guild vs guild battles, battles, as well as massive world boss fights for hundreds of players in the open world.
These are like
I'm very
action-adventure
excited for this
games more
game,
than
even
a
though there's a high
RPG.
likelihood of it being pay to win. The game's currently targeting a release window of Q2 2023. Diablo 4. Some people might not consider this an MMORPG, but you're able to see other players running around a massive shared open world and have the opportunity to group up with them, as well as touch a bit of that MMO feeling when taking down world bosses. Diablo 4 will also have PvP and other features that will also likely appeal to MMO fans. Diablo 4 will be releasing on June 6th, 2023, and I'll definitely be covering it on this channel when it does. Path of Exile 2. Once again, not an MMORPG, but the game will feature co-op parties for up to 6 players.
Alright.
PoE 2 seems like it's got
Party
a lot
combat.
less shared world MMO light features when compared to Diablo 4, but will likely make up for it in depth, build variety, replayability, and content updates.
Action
Most
RPG.
MMORPG players that I know are also excited for Path of Exile 2, hence why I
all you're
decided
getting.
to include it in this list. And so far the game is looking like it will be releasing in either Q1 or Q2 2024.
Boring action versions.
Blue Protocol is an upcoming anime MMORPG from Japan that's almost certainly
Had
going to be
more
releasing
fun in
in
the action-adventure
2023,
game of Super
most
Mario
likely early
World.
spring. This game already has a Steam page available and has been in development for quite some time. I actually played the closed beta of Blue Protocol over 2.5 years ago at this point, before the game just went full radio silence for 2 years. From what I remember, it was a decently fun story-driven PvE MMO, although at the time nothing really blew me away about it. Regardless, most Japanese-made MMOs tend to do fairly well in the West, and I'd expect Blue Protocol to be relatively popular, as long as it's got plenty of content as well as a fair business model. Crimson Desert. This is not an MMORPG. It's a story-driven single-player RPG with multiplayer elements. As to the extent of those multiplayer elements, we're not sure yet as of the making of this video. Regardless though, this is a game being developed by the same developers as Black Desert Online, which means it will likely have an amazing action combat system that will likely appeal to most MMORPG fans. As for release date, it's currently looking like Q3 or Q4 2023.
Alright.
Archage 2. This Unreal Engine 5 MMORPG will be available on both PC and consoles and feature a massive open world with an action combat
Basically
system,
the same thing Archage had hyped up, and then
content, as well as the ability to build
does anybody play Archage?
And sail the open seas, which was the most famous feature from Archage 1.
I don't.
The recent teaser trailer we got for Archage 2 got me extremely excited. The game looks absolutely beautiful, and I hope Exile Games
some of
have
it,
learned
the
from their
action
past
stuff
mistakes with
looks like it'd be
1.
good, but you already know.
So far, this game is slated for a 2024
you'd be doing the same thing nonstop.
However, I personally wouldn't be surprised to see it pushed back into 2025.
Easy mode.
It's also a Korean MMO with a big emphasis on PvP, so I'd also expect it to have pay-to-win elements. Night Crows.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have
this game
cash
was
shops
unveiled
galore.
in November 2022 with one of the most badass trailers I've ever seen for an MMO. What's even more surprising is that the game is slated for an April 2023 release. The game's key feature is that it can supposedly support 1,000 player PvP battles, which is something I'm kinda skeptical about. Visually, the game looks very nice, utilising Unreal Engine 5's rendering tech. However, my biggest skepticism comes from the fact that Night Crows will be cross-platform on PC and mobile, and apparently use blockchain technology. No idea how this game's going to turn out, but I'll be trying it regardless. Wayfinder is yet another recently announced game making this list, and it actually looks pretty decent. I'm not too sure to what extent this game is massively multiplayer, but MMORPG is a tag that the game is using to describe itself on the game's Steam page, which is already up and available for wishlists. Based purely on the trailer, Wayfinder to me looks like a third-person multiplayer stage-based looter, but I might be wrong. Not much details are known other than the game will launch in late 2023 and have a fair free-to-play business model, whatever that means these days. Palia is probably the most casual MMORPG on this list, and that's
pretty much everyone is casual. This is more like kid-targeted. Except my 4-year-old would probably get bored of it.
certainly isn't a bad thing, as that's the exact niche this game is targeting. Imagine Stardew Valley but 3D, third person with multiplayer, basically the perfect game to play with your partner. Palia describes itself as a community sim game set in a vibrant world with a cozy art style and overall vibe. In this game you can forage, hunt, mine, catch insects, go fishing, cook, furnish your house and do some gardening. As for release date, I'd expect this sometime in late 2023, as the game's already had multiple playtests at this point. Corepunk. This is quite a unique upcoming MMORPG that I've personally been excited for quite a long time. Imagine MOBA style top-down gameplay but in an MMORPG with fog of war. It's certainly a unique concept that hasn't been done before. Corepunk looks like it has
No,
a
it doesn't
solid
look
mix of
like
both
World of
PvP and
Warcraft-ish.
challenging PvE content, crafting, an open world, vibrant art
Isometric
style, character
version.
customization, and multiple classes. In terms of development, the game looks pretty far along based on the gameplay shown, and was supposed to have a beta test.
Alright, Corepunk. That doesn't say Bitchcraft. Okay, you can fish and build. A lot of all these strategy builders, they have the little promo video, which is nothing like the game. Like a 3D promo, but then in the game, all you're doing is clicking a button that says build, upgrade, train.
Hytale is a
Heal,
voxel
gather.
style MMORPG that was initially announced 4 years ago.
Alright, here we got
This
a
game's more of a sandbox style
well,
MMO.
Minecraft
building,
upgrade, I
mini-game
guess.
creation, quests, dungeons,
Minecraft
bosses,
2.0.
character customization, different classes, and a ton of in-game tools to help content creators make
They
their
get to
own
break
content
stuff.
for the game.
Hytale with the
Hytale has
voxels.
recently developed its engine to support multiple platforms, and the latest info I can find is that the team are eyeing a 2023 release. Profane describes itself as a true player-driven
Minecraft
sandbox
mobile.
MMO that takes
See, all
place
these
in
look
a
like
traditional fantasy setting.
mobile
You'll be able to explore a dynamic world
mobile
that reacts to your
clickers.
actions, partake in open-world PvP,
More mobile
build houses,
clickers.
and enjoy skill-based action combat. Visually, I like the vibrant stylized graphics of this game, as well as the PvP territory control focus.
Blow up other people's
Currently,
stuff.
there's no information on a release date for this game, so I'd have to speculate 2025 and beyond. The Day Before is probably the most hyped third-person looter shooter MMO coming in the near
Looter
future.
shooter.
This game was initially revealed in January 2021 with a trailer that many people had doubts about, given the fact it's a massive open-world zombie survival shooter similar to The Division.
Alright, looks pretty good there, right? Obviously, these aren't all MMORPGs or RPGs even at all, but, you know, upcoming games, I guess. But, you know, they're not even showing one character, it's just a hood. Hood man. Enemies are hoods too.
Recent games over the years, so I'm excited to see how this one turns out. As for a potential release, this one's looking like a 2024 and beyond MMO.
I think
Nightingale is
GoldenEye
an MMORPG,
for the
but it's
Nintendo
a
is
first-person
probably better.
multiplayer open-world survival game that I think will likely
Survival?
appeal to MMO players given its fantasy
Can you
theme.
survive playing it without
Nightingale will
wanting
release in the
to
first
turn it
half of
off?
2023 and features procedurally generated realms to explore, a mix of melee
Oh
weapons
yeah,
and
the old
guns,
first
colossal
person
monsters, gathering, crafting, building, and
American
the ability to
RPG,
recruit
which I
NPCs
didn't
to
really
work on
like
your
much.
homestead. Looks like an interesting game, and it's already available to wishlist on Steam. Past Fate is a Viking-themed open-world indie MMORPG that should be coming to Steam Early Access in 2023.
Yep, that one
Visually, the
definitely
game has
looks
decent
boring.
graphics and seems to be going with a
I'd say the
Souls-style
animations
action
would
combat
need
system.
some work.
Past Fate will feature 5 playable
It's like
classes:
it's
warrior, necromancer, mage, pirate,
some
and
kid
priest,
going
a
through
crafting and gathering
high
system,
school
quests, and
that
various
learned how
monsters
to
such as zombies,
code and add
demons,
stuff,
and
and
giants.
there he
I
is
think this
with
game
the
looks quite cool,
Unity,
and I'm looking forward to
Unreal,
covering it on the
any of
channel when it
them
releases on Steam
homemade
Early
version.
Access. War of Dragnarox is another indie MMORPG coming to Steam Early Access in 2023, and has recently announced that it's transitioning to Unreal Engine 5. This game is a sandbox MMO with a traditional fantasy setting of orcs, dragons and goblins, and there'll be a big emphasis on player exploration with no hand
These games put
no
so much time in. Yeah, see the animations are so stiff looking.
raids to explore.
I don't know.
Soulframe, basically Warframe the MMO.
They spend more time on their
slower, more deliberate
promo
combat system, perhaps similar to Dark Souls.
pre-rendered
This
video.
very early
If you actually had good
development, so
gameplay, you can just be filming your gameplay and it'll just look like a video.
Fair business model and a solid developer team. So I'd expect
Again, they're showing the pre-rendered scenes because the game is
and beyond, most likely. Dune Awakening is a recently revealed open-world survival MMO based in the Dune universe.
Alright, there's
In this
Star
game,
Wars.
You explore the vast, lawless deserts of Arrakis, fighting
Star Wars: The Old
Sun
Republic
Wolves,
3.
and other alien creatures with a third-person combat system.
And
where
if
you'll
it's
be able
as
to utilize
crappy as the
various
movie,
infantry,
the game will
ground,
just
and
be even
flying
worse.
vehicles. Obviously, as a survival MMO, gathering, crafting, and base building will also be a big factor. There's not too many details out about this game right now, but it's looking like a game that will be playable in early access either late 2023 or early 2024.
Horizon
Online is another upcoming MMORPG.
Oh look, Horizon Online
in the works from Guerrilla Games.
2025.
About this game other than it featuring a completely new
Platforms,
cast of characters from
mobile.
the other Horizon games, as well as
By this game, you get to fly on a dragon.
Aesthetic. This one seems extremely early in development, so I wouldn't expect any release until
Business model.
and beyond.
Pay
Into the Echo is an Unreal Engine 5
Into the
MMORPG
Echo,
that was teased
same
in
thing.
September 2021 with a trailer that quite frankly shows next to nothing.
Mobile style game.
Feature time travel through different civilizations though, which
Call it
is
a
kind of
MMORPG, but
this is yet
we know
another
it's
MMO
not.
that I wouldn't expect to release any time before 2025. Madworld is a Korean isometric MMO set.
Oh yeah, this is definitely one we're all going to be moving to here.
This game will be free to play, feature a mix of both PvP and
For
PvE
sure.
content, as well as some of the most hideous bosses you'll ever see. I expect Madworld will release in 2023.
I knock it, but who knows?
as the game's
Probably end up
recently
having
been in
more
beta
fun playing this
testing
than
and a Steam
all the rest
wishlist
of them.
page is already available.
Truly next
As with all
generation
free-to-play
stuff.
Korean MMOs, though, do
Hello
expect
and
this
welcome
one
to
come
the
through
Angry
wallet.
Gamer.
Legends
There's
of
nothing
Ymir.
that satisfies,
Similar to Micros, this is a
nothing
recently
that
announced
makes us
MMORPG
not
from
want to
WeMade that
cry.
will also be cross-platform on mobile and PC.
Trailer
as well
looks
as
cool,
using
but the
Unreal Engine
game
5 and blockchain technology.
looks
Once
like
again,
it doesn't.
Lovely trailer, but we'll have to wait
So
for the
legend
gameplay to
goes.
see if there's any promise with this one. I'm super skeptical myself, especially with how Myr 4 turned out. Legends of Ymir is currently looking like
They spent more time on the bug animations than the player animations, and that's why they.
Chrono Odyssey, another Unreal Engine Korean MMORPG that showed off a cool trailer
Run
2 years ago.
movement
that was
is just
mostly
not
CGI.
fluid.
This game will be cross-platform on
Ooh,
PC,
blood.
PS5, and mobile devices.
Oh no, it looks like red
and
crystals
not a whole lot is
popping
known
out.
about the game. Apparently, Chrono Odyssey is confirmed for 2023, but given the fact that we haven't seen any actual gameplay yet, I kinda doubt
There,
it.
another
Ares Rise of Guardians,
pre-rendered
an
bunch of
upcoming
cutscenes.
sci-fi MMORPG from Kakao Games that gives me budget Warframe vibes. This game will be available on both PC and
Tony
mobile,
Hawk
so
Online.
probably won't be
Oh.
very good, but it has a cool theme regardless. This one should come out sometime in 2023. Odin Valhalla Rising, another upcoming PC/mobile MMORPG
Yeah,
from
another
Kakao Games that visually looks quite
Action
good.
RPG, calling it a MMO,
Looks like it's a lot of auto-pathing
and I don't.
auto-combat.
Basically, it's just
Heavily
a.
pay to win too, but I like the
They should have a new
expect a global release
genre. Call it button masher with levels, button masher with too many items to throw
Ember
away,
Sword is a blockchain MMORPG
button masher
that's
with
been
weak
in development
enemies.
for years. It reminds me
Easy
of
mode,
Albion
easy
Online, but
mode.
with more basic graphics. Ember Sword will be a browser MMO with PvP, land ownership,
Player-owned
top-down
commerce
gameplay, and
hubs.
action
Ooh.
combat. I'm actually curious to try this game, simply because this is one of the few blockchain
Kaboom.
MMOs that have been in development for years before crypto gaming.
I can definitely
became
see that
the
being a
bandwagon, with
mobile
its first
clicker
announcement
too.
trailer all the way back in 2018. As for release date, it's looking
If you're
like
browsing for a
2023.
browser game, then just keep
Perhaps some of
browsing.
you remember a game a few years back called Project BBQ. This was supposed to
Project
be a
AK
third-person
Barbecue.
multiplayer action
Oh
RPG
yeah.
version of Dungeon Fighter Online. Well, Project BBQ was
Project
scrapped and
Barbecue.
transitioned to
Fire
Project
it up.
AK. Now, this is still a
Bang,
game that's
bang,
going to
shoot
be
'em
set
up.
in the Dungeon
Cha-cha-cha.
Fighter universe. However, now it's going to be more of a
There's
Souls-like
Genshin
in terms
something.
of gameplay, and it's only going to be releasing on consoles initially. Star Citizen is the biggest
Right,
meme when it
space
comes
version
to
of the
upcoming
same thing.
MMORPGs, as many people say this game will never release. It's by far received the most crowdfunding money out of any game ever at over $500 million. In all fairness to Star
Alright,
Citizen,
there's a spaceship.
some parts of the game are playable
spaceship.
and look pretty cool.
Look at that.
The truth is though, nobody knows when or if this game will ever release. Pantheon Rise of the Fallen.
Pantheon Rise of the Fallen.
Every single upcoming MMORPG list video for the past 8 years, and it's currently still in pre-alpha.
No doubt in my mind this is destined to mediocrity.
I mean pre-alpha.
Sure, they're getting a little bit better
like we've gotten used to
versus their
Pantheon Rise of the Fallen is basically trying
world
to be the spiritual successor to
pre-rendered
EverQuest,
views,
and
but we
based on
already
the most
know
recent footage shown of it, I can't
even
be
with the
bothered to
groups
talk about the
fighting
game
enemies,
any further
they're
because it
still
still
weak.
looks like it's a
A
solid
lot of people
5
have a
years
lot of
away
high
from
hopes for this,
completion.
however, I just
Camelot
don't.
Unchained has been in development for 10 years at this point, and we haven't
Just
had an
won't
updated
happen
trailer for the game
the
in 9
way
years.
everybody wants it to.
The devs
Camelot.
haven't shown any progress update on YouTube for 2 years, but apparently it's still in development, and they've just secured an additional $15 million of funding.
I was just playing
somehow.
Dark Age of Camelot.
Personally, I
Here
don't
it's
think
Dark
Camelot
Age of
Unchained will
Camelot
ever
with
release.
building.
So out of all the upcoming MMORPGs mentioned in this video, which ones are you the most excited for? Honestly, the last time I made a
Here's
video
a
like this,
recap of
50% of the
various
games mentioned either ended
upcomers.
up being dead on arrival, straight up
Any
cancelled,
that you like?
or perpetually delayed.
I don't.
But hopefully a few of these MMOs will turn
If only
out
there
good.
was something to be
For me,
excited
my
for.
hype lies with Ashes of Creation,
Used to get hyped
Riot
up for
MMO,
each
Archage
new
2,
release.
Throne and Liberty, and Soulframe. If any others turn out to be good,
Started
then it'll
off,
be a pleasant surprise. This video took quite
checking
a lot of
out,
effort with research and writing to make, so if you
know,
found it
moving
useful,
from
help us out
Final
with the like
Fantasy
button for
11,
the algorithm gods,
and
social
then
media on screen, and I'll see you in the
spending a
next
couple
one.
months on Star Wars Galaxies, and there you go. And eventually ended up trying out EverQuest 2 for about a month and a half. Between that and WoW, and then I went to WoW in 2005 for a couple months, got hyped up for nothing else, went back to Final Fantasy 11. Following year, I think I tried out Lineage 2 for a month, then around the next May, go check out Star Wars, which ended up getting changed from the combat upgrade to the no good upgrade experience, and there's definitely no more grouping. Everything was a completely solo game. Never talked to anybody. Next one hyped up for Vanguard, as reading about it's from the original EverQuest, is like the predecessor supposedly of that, and then that turned out to be, and that's about the way sadly all these new games are going to be. Nothing to see, nothing upcoming. Why are we wasting development time on dumb? Just dumb. But if there's something you like, you enjoy, all the more power to you. I don't. I wish I could, but I don't. There's nothing good. Alright.
Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be adding more videos.